What's up guys, Kool-Aid here, and today we're going to talk about the new Engineer Anti-Vehicle Mana Turret. Now this does cost 1,000 certification points or 700 station cash, but it is definitely an upgrade over the other turret. Just remember that when you do buy this, if you buy this, you are going to have to go into your ability slot and equip it, and it will completely replace your other turret. You cannot have both out at the same time, or you cannot alternate back and forth. Now this turret does have some unique differences between the other turret. First of all, it does not have a shield in front of it, making you more of a sitting duck and making the turret as a whole a lot easier to kill. This turret also overheats after every single shot. You don't actually build up heat on this one. Now when you first buy it, it is going to overheat for 6 seconds. So you have to wait 6 seconds in between each shot. By sticking further certification points into it, however, you can reduce that time down to 4.5 seconds. Now the launcher does not work like typical rocket launchers in this game. It actually works more like a tow missile, where you can control the flight of the rocket after launch. It also seems to have a much higher projectile velocity than most of the other dumbfire rockets in this game, but it does seem to hit just as hard. I don't have actual damage numbers for you, but I'm going to show you a lot of examples of how hard this thing can actually hit. So as you can see, one shot in the back of the lightning takes it well over half. 2 shots easily finishes it off. Same with main battle tanks. 1 shot does about half. 2 shots is easily going to finish these off. Now these are obviously, I'm shooting these in the back where they're going to be susceptible to the most damage, but this is just showing you an example of how hard these can actually hit compared to the other rockets. Now Sunders, we know, don't actually have a weak spot in the back. They're going to take the same amount of damage whether you shoot them in the back, the side, or the front, and it does take 4 shots from one of these to actually take out a Sunder, which is pretty good. Now, one thing I was a bit surprised about was air vehicles. It actually takes 2 shots to take out an ESF, which I'm a bit disappointed with. It's going to make it really hard to get air vehicle kills with this thing. Not that it was going to be easy to begin with, but having to hit ESFs multiple times, you can tell they intended this to be used on ground vehicles. The chances of you actually hitting an ESF twice with one of these while it's flying is very slim. And you can see with the Liberator, you actually have to shoot it 6 times to blow it up. You know, the chances of you actually being able to do that while one of these is flying, again, is incredibly low. So just try to use these on ground vehicles only. The next thing I'm going to show you is actually what it does against infantry, and it has a very small blast radius, as you're going to see. Now, the closer you are to the actual detonation, the more damage you are going to take, but it looks like unless you get hit directly with the rocket, you are only going to take about 50% damage. So it looks like it's going to do about 500 maximum damage if you were standing right next to the rocket when it goes off. It will, however, one-shot you if it direct hits you. So it is still pretty decent against infantry. The fact that it only fires 1 rocket every 6 seconds or every 4.5 seconds, depending on how many certs you have stuck into it. You're not going to really use this to take out infantry very often, but in a dire situation, it will definitely work. And of course, they will take out maxes in 2 shots. This is without flak armor, of course. The next thing we're going to do is actually set up some distance testing. This is about 400 meters, and my buddy is actually just parked there, so I'm not trying to hit a moving target or anything like that. This is about the max range I would ever actually want to try and shoot a vehicle, but just for fun, we backed it up to right around 800 meters, and as you can see, I can still hit the target. Just note how long the actual travel time of the rocket is to get there. If he wasn't holding perfectly still, I probably wouldn't be able to hit him, and honestly I probably wouldn't even see him at this range. But this just goes to show that basically anything you see, this rocket will get to. So even though I do feel this is an upgrade over the stock turret, it doesn't come without the same limitations as the other turret. You still have to deploy it, you still have to wait a couple seconds before you can actually jump on, and then you have that clunkiness of trying to get on and off. Because if you sit on a turret, you are just sniper bait and tank bait. And even more so in the case of the anti-vehicle turret, you do not have that shield there. Now some people say that shield was basically a attraction to enemy fire, but I think not having it there, you're going to realize how many bullets or how much tank fire that shield actually saved you from. So you know, you're going to want to use the same methods on this as you did on the other turret. You're going to want to get a couple shots off, or in the case of the new vehicle turret, you're going to want to get probably one shot off, jump off the turret, get to some cover, jump back on, fire another shot, rinse and repeat. You're going to see I try to do this against the Sunder, and I almost get it, but just before I got the last shot off, it actually says all exits blocked. Just another beautiful thing that comes with the turrets. So anyways, guys, that's all I have today. If you enjoyed this, please hit like and the subscribe button. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all later.